Alright, Shalom, Shalom. I'm the brother Marakal. But first and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and all the Akim out there that are pushing this truth with nothing but sincerity. In the name of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, start off from the tribe of Judah all the way down to Issachar. And I already introduced myself. I'm the brother Marakal. And today I wanted to speak about the flesh against the spirit, like the war. You know, the war between the flesh against the spirit, because it's because when you think about war, which Yahweh, if you go into the book of Exodus, the 15th chapter, I believe the verse 3, it talks about that the Most High is a man of war. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on over there in Iran and Israel, the state of Israel, is that Yahweh is making that happen though. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Al-Shai is making that happen though. So you know how there's people that be like, people think that Yahweh, which the people ignorantly call him God though, is not prompting what's going on over there. He's prompting that though. You know what I'm saying though? He's prompting everything that's going on over there though. And we're living in beautiful times though, because the thing is though, man, it's like all these things that are happening, man, from what I just spoke about, Iran and the Israel, and then like what's it called though, the deportation that's happening though. Now it's jumping on the Haitians, the so-called Haitians though. Now they're getting deported though and things like that, man. So while the tribe of Issachar and Zebulon, they were getting deported though, now it's jumping onto the southern kingdom though, which the so-called Haitians are from the tribe of Levi. Now they're getting afflicted though, man. You see though? So the thing about it though is, man, we're living in these times though where all this is happening though. Man, you just had a thing over there in California, or right here actually in California, that there was a factory of fireworks just exploding, man. You know what I'm saying though? And I don't know if people died though, but the thing about it though is that happened though, man. And like I said, man, we're living in some beautiful times though, man. They're gonna push that MOTB, which is the mark of the beast though, and you see all this shit happening right now, man. It's like, man, it's just beautiful times, man. We're living in beautiful times though. So yeah, the war that it's happening over there, it's gonna, eventually, the U.S. is already getting involved though, which is already involved though, because the U.S. backs up Israel. So, but the thing is though, is like I said though, man, like, yeah, there's that physical war, right? But the spiritual war, man, that's hard though, man. Because that's the thing about it, man. Let's say if you're not fighting anybody or anything like that, but they put you in a room dark though. Let's say they put you in a room dark though, and you're in there though, man. You don't know the time, you don't know nothing. You're just in this fucking room, right? Like in prison, they throw you in solitary confinement though, and you're in there and you don't even know what time it is. The sun comes up, the sun goes down, and then some people eventually go crazy though, man, because it's those demons that, because once you're in jail, you're in prison, right? You're sitting there and you're just everything weighs in though, you start having these thoughts though, what people say thoughts though, but in reality they're like demons, and you just start wondering, man. And then some people commit even kill themselves, man, because they can't handle that pressure, man. They can't handle be by themselves though. They can't handle, in reality it's all those demons though, man, that's just fucking with the people though, man. And that's the thing about it though, man. And that war, the flesh against the spirit and the spirit against the flesh, it's a real war, even though there's no guns or knives or fighting involvement. But guess what though, man? It goes to test you how you are, man, spiritually though, man. So that's the thing about it, man, that yeah, like, you could go work out. I mean, you could be in the best what's it called? You could be in the best fit of your life though. You could be like good though. You could be in the best fit of your life though. But at the same time, just because you could bench 300 pounds, or you could run 2 miles like it's nothing though, doesn't mean you're gonna be safe from what's coming though, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could do all this and that though, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that your ass is gonna get safe from what's gonna come though, man. Because it says, I believe in the scripture that says that the military men, their hearts will melt. You know, the military men, their hearts will melt. But that's the thing about it though, man. So it's that faith though that you're supposed to have, man. Or it gets put in you, because we know, which I'll get the scripture real quick. I believe in 2 Corinthians. Yeah, 2 Corinthians 10:4, it says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds." See? So our weapons of warfare are not carnal, man. We don't get physical, man. We don't need to do all that though, man. Because you know what I mean? Because it's but mighty through God to pulling down of the strongholds. You know? Because if you're spiritually strong, man, you know, you could discern things though. You know? Because we know, at the time of Jacob's trouble, which we pretty much stepped in there already. You know? Shit, we're pretty much a step in Jacob's trouble already though, man. We know these guns and knives ain't gonna save us from the persecution of Esau, man. You know? Because because you never know, man, we could get snatched up though. Like how Issachar is getting snatched up right now. You don't even know who's watching, and we don't even know nothing, man. One day you could be out and about doing something and your ass get snatched up though, man. So that's the thing about it though, man. So they can say like these YNs though, like these YNs have these big guns and all this shit though, man. But as soon as Esau, the cop though, Edomite cop though, they try to buck up against Edomite though cop, they're gonna lose though, man. Because let's say Jake does kill an Edomite cop though, but guess what? He's gonna be on the most wanted list though, and next thing you know, he's gonna be known as a danger to society though, and these Edomites and they're gonna look for this cat, and if he doesn't want to go to prison for life, he's gonna shoot it out though. But the thing is though, it's like Jake with his little guns against Esau, what Esau's known to be the weapon though, man. So Esau's good with the weapons too. So that's a battle that you cannot win. And that's why we need Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai though. Because without him, without them, we can't win this battle though, man. You can't go up against Esau though, because you know damn well Esau is a sword, man. Esau is a sword that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai uses against a people, our people. How do you think he was able to conquer all this shit, man? How do you think Esau was able to conquer these countries, man? You know what I'm saying though? It was through, that's a precept too, which y'all get right now. I believe it's in Micah. Yeah. Micah 2:2, it says, "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage." See? So it says, and take them by violence. And damn well this devil, man, be taking these people, the countries by violence, man. You can't tell me this, these Edomites don't be doing that, or haven't been doing that though, man. Because he'd be a fool, man. So that's the thing about it though, man. So, because we know, man, when it comes down to the down and gritty though, Esau without his weapons, man, he get down with one of the tribes though, Esau, Esau will get beat up, man. You know what I'm saying? Who's the best known boxers out there, man? The majority of the best boxers out there is Israelites, man. From Judah to Issachar to Manasseh to even with Zebulon, what's his name? Hannah Stones. Fuck, Roberto Duran. I believe he was from Panama. He's Zebulon, So that's what I'm saying. When it comes down to down and gritty of fighting hand combat though, Esau will lose, man. That's why his weapon is that sword, which is the gun, man. And he takes people by violence, man. That's all he knows. He pursues blood. You know what I'm saying? You know, he chases blood, man. He likes blood. He even likes tasting it. You know? And you can't say that he doesn't, though, man. You know? So, I'll get the book of Matthew. The book of Matthew 26 and 41, it says, "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. And the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Yeah, man. So, you know, you know, you don't want to do something though, right? And you know, the spirit, you know, you're not supposed to do that, but the flesh wants it. You know what I'm saying though? So it's just gonna give an example, right? Just gonna give an example though. Let's say, you know, we told like, hey man, like, you know, if you get with another man's wife, man, you know, that's called adultery, man. You know? But let's say, you know, you just minding your business though, and you know, fine ass woman, right? A fine ass woman walks by, and she starts talking to you and everything like that, you know? And what you do? Then you find out that she has a boyfriend though. And then you're talking to her and everything, and you're like, oh damn, man, you know, I really can't do nothing though, you know? Because she has a man. But it's like the body, how she looks though, she looks real good though. But you know damn well, like, you know how to say, you're thinking more with your head down here than your head up here, you know? And it's like the body wants that though, man. And that's the thing about it though, man. So it's just like, you know how they say, temptation is a motherfucker, man. Especially within our people, man, with our tribes though, that, you know, adultery runs loosely with our tribes though, you know, with our people, man. You know? So that's the thing about it, man. That's just giving an example though. But the flesh is weak, man. Man, like right now, man, I got the fucking allergies and shit, man. I got fucking allergies, man. I had to pop a pill, you know, before I came out here, because it's just like they were just real bad, my eyes and everything though. This body is fucking weak, man. This body's fucking weak, man. You know? And then like, let's say you use somebody right there walking, you know, by the street though, and then down the street, I mean, Slakia, and you see like through the window, you see like a cupcake or something though, man, and you're like, oh shit, you know, like, I don't really want it. I mean, like, it's not the best for me. But how can that hurt me though? You know what I'm saying? What could hurt me from eating this cupcake? You know? Because if you know damn well, it's like, if you knew that cupcake had poison, you know damn well you'd be like, well, I ain't eating that shit though. That shit has poison though. So therefore, I'm just gonna walk by it, man. But the fact that you can, you're gonna be like 50-50, like, well, I could though, because, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's too much sugar though. But how can it hurt me though, man? What's the worst that could happen, in other words? You know? So to be structured, man. To be patient and structured though, that takes a lot in, you know? Because, you know what I'm saying though? Because like, people like to follow the crowd though, man. Which that's a scripture, I believe, in the Proverbs, so, you know, simplicity. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, Proverbs 1 and 22, it says, "How long ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and the fools hate knowledge," though. So, we're over here telling you about what adultery. We're here telling you about, you know, I mean, you're not supposed to eat so much sugar though, but at the same time, like, we just warn you, like, hey man, you know, too much sugar could cause this and that. Or like even pork though, you know. We'll tell people, you know, like, you can't be eating pork, man, especially if you're an Israelite though, man. You know, if you're an Israelite, hey bro, you know, if you eat pork, you know, that's a sin. And I'll be like, no, because when people think about sin, they think about murder. Some people even know about adultery, stealing. The top 10 though, man. They think the top 10, that's sin though. But eating pepperonis on my pizza, how is that a sin? You know? And that's how people's mentalities are, man. You know? But in reality, like I said, man, you just, what does it say when you're stacking up sin though? You know? When you're stacking up sin though, and it's just like, you know, it's iniquity though, man.